Hello there my fellow holotable heroes and welcome to another Galactic challenge video. We have the return of Hutt Cartel. We'll see how long CG will keep this going. So this is now the 4th Hutt Cartel in a row, like every Friday. So we'll see, maybe another 2 months or so, because I think for Inquisitors we had like a 3-month run, so maybe it's going to be same for Hutt Cartel. Now in previous one I wasn't able to get actually max grade versus the troopers. However, this time versus droids I was able to find a way to cheese it out. So hopefully this video will help you to get max rewards, even if you do have some of the Hutt Cartel at lower gear. As always, I'll cover first the modifiers and the feats and then show you the battles. So if you're just interested in battles, skip through using YouTube chapters below. As always, 3 battles here for you today, all on tier 10. So first will be Hutt Cartel and then 2 different teams that can get Bring Balance as well as Unguarded feat done in a single battle. So hopefully one of those teams will work for you. Obviously, if you do have a Galactic Legends, by all means do use them. They will make things easier. But as you know, I try not to use Galactic Legends if possible in my Galactic Challenge videos. Alright, let's get started with the global modifier for Endor. This is actually a really fun modifier. I really enjoy using this one because you do get special abilities for your guys, while the enemy as well. So depending on who uses it, if one of your attackers uses it, you can defense penetration for 2 turns, and then everybody are called to assist. If healers or support use it, you gain some protection over time, which is meh, but you do gain 30% turn meter, which is nice. We'll be utilizing that a lot. And then if a tank uses it, you will be gaining foresight for 2 turns, which is pretty cool, so you can, you know, avoid any of those big hits coming in from the droids. So definitely a very fun modifier here to play with. And speaking of fun modifier, Hutt Cartel modifier is very fun. You can really use it to cheese a lot of these things, as you've seen through the past Hutt Cartel challenges. So as long as your leader has protection, the other guys can't be killed off, so which is pretty cool. On top of it all, especially for this particular one, is also the last there bit. Whenever a thermal detonator detonates, Hutt Cartel allies gain protection up, stacking for 2 turns. So the idea here is you just have to survive the opening sequence, and then you apply thermal detonators, then you detonate them, and then suddenly you will have so much protection up on your leader that they won't be able to kill him off, get the protection down, and you'll just be able to slowly work your way through the enemy. So this really the protection up in this particular case that will help us out. The droid modifier, well, they get some extra offense and some extra protection recovery, but nothing too crazy, to be honest, for the droids on this one. So definitely we are having a nice boost on modifier. In terms of feat, obviously it's a Hutt Cartel challenge, so you have to win with a full team of Hutt Cartel. And for the remaining 2 feats, Bring Balance, where you have to win at least with 1 light side and 1 dark side character surviving, like very flexible feat. You can do whatever you want here. And finally, win with no tanks in your squad. Again, lots of options there. I'll just show you 2 teams that can in a single battle get both of these feats done. In terms of the droid enemies, we got Sortie Lead. Now she's very fast. If she goes out, does her AoE in the beginning, it's pretty much game over, so you'll have to restart a few times until she actually starts off. Instead of using her AoE, that she uses the special ability she gets from the event, and this then allows you obviously to actually survive the opening sequence and get your plays going. In terms of the other threats here, I would say T-Freeza threat. He's got a dispel, so he can dispel all those protection up buffs we are stacking from the modifier. And then finally IG there, he can cleanse whenever he gets a turn. So you just have to keep those 3 guys under control, and for the most part HK and Chopper, they don't do a whole lot, to be honest. Alright, let me show you now my Hutt Cartel and explain some of the mechanics behind this team, how they all work together to be able to cheese this. So obviously using Cad Bane lead, so for leadership it's very easy to trigger his contract. You just have to inflict 20 debuffs, which, you know, with all those thermal detonators, ability blocks that's coming from Boba, shouldn't be too difficult to trigger the contract. And then once you do trigger his contract, in his payout he gets plus 25% evasion. So again, you will see he will be evading attacks as well, so this will again help him out that he can keep that protection topped up. And also this ability is very good because it removes turn meter and stuns targets, so you'll be able to, you know, keep IG stunned and removing his turn meter as well. So definitely very useful ability here from Cad Bane. In terms of modding, I just loaded him with defense sets and as much protection as I could, so he can at least survive the opening plays with protection. Moving on, we got Boba. I modded Boba for as much speed as I could, 343, but even this is not enough to go before sortie. But you know, so I did mod him for potency there as well, as you can see. So hopefully those ability blocks there on his AoE will be landing reliably, so he can keep these guys under control. And then I did bring Greedo in as well, same like Boba. I just stacked him with lots of speed and potency, so he can land those thermal detonators. And then on top of it all, same as Cad Bane, one of his abilities here as well has turn meter removal, which again will help you a little bit keep IG under control, so IG can't get a turn straight away and cleanse all these ability blocks you will be applying. And the remaining two, I got Corsantan obviously for his Spermataunt. I modded him for speed. He's actually a key component to this as well, because his basic can land a shock, and this is the only way that you will be able to actually take down Sortie in the end, because otherwise, if you don't let shock on her, she will keep gaining so much protection up that you will not be able to kill her off. So shock will stop that protection up applying, and then eventually you will be able to knock her down. And of course here with his unique, he will have this Spermataunt going, so they'll just be able to keep attacking him. And because all the protection up on Cad Bane will be stacking, the AoEs won't be able to kill him off. No Zetas required here on Corsantan. Same thing, no Zetas required on Leia as well. Obviously she's got her basic, applying thermal detonators. Then her special attack triggers thermal detonators, which then gives you a lot of protection up for the team. And same thing as Corsantan, I just modded her for as much speed as I could, obviously being at gear 8 and 3 stars, but it was good enough. Alright, let's hop into the battle now. This is going to be a little bit of RNG, like as you can see here, if Sortie starts off with an AoE, yeah, it's game over, so you'll just want to retreat and go back in again until she uses the event ability instead of her AoE. So again, attempt number 2, retreat, go back out, and then let's try this again. Hopefully this time she will start off with event ability, which will just, there we go, she used event ability, booster meter to everybody, but doesn't matter because their AoEs don't do as much damage as Sortie's. Alright, so now it's time for us to get some plays going. So what I'll do first is just go after T3 here, get some thermal detonators going, see if we can land some ability blocks with Boba. Perfect. So this is the key here, to get ability block on Sortie there, so she doesn't get her AoE on her second turn. Either stunned as well as pushback turn meter on IG. And there we go. And now we just keep treating those thermal detonators. We're stacking now lots of protection up. I'll just keep going after T3, he's the main threat we have to take out. Let's go ahead, push back turn meter on IG again. Perfect. Okay, just keep going now, we'll just have to keep going. It'll take a while, I think I needed like 9 minutes for this whole thing. I'll speed up the footage later, but as you can see there, Sortie did get her AoE out, but at this point we had a lot of protection up on Cad Bane. And he evaded as well anyways, but even if he wouldn't evade because of all these stacks of protection up, now he's got 17 already, that Sortie's AoE wouldn't be able to get protection down on Cad Bane. So you just have to get this opening sequence going, as I've showed you here, making sure that Sortie uses the event ability, and then you land ability block with Boba on Sortie, and then get stuns and turn meter removal on IG, and from there on out, after that initial plays, when you do thermal detonator start exploding, there we go, we had all this protection up. Sortie's AoE there wasn't enough to get down Cad Bane, and that's it pretty much. You just have to now exhaust their savior first. So I'll just blow up T3 here. He came back for the revive, he dispelled the protection up, and this is why T3 actually is the main threat with this team. So you definitely want to take him out as quickly as you can. Again, let's trigger those thermal detonators to gain protection up, and I will just keep going here after T3. Let's use the event ability maybe to give some turn meter to the team. There we go, let's get thermals going. There we go, we're again having lots of protection up on our team. Okay, we're stuck behind Chopper's taunt now. I'll just do basic. There we go. Let's see if we can get those ability blocks, especially on T3 now, so he doesn't get his AoE again. Let's go ahead, remove the taunt there from T3. See if we can push back some turn meter on IG again. I think this time didn't remove turn meter. But anyway, I'll just keep going. Let's use the event ability again to get some mass attack over on T3. Come on, get him down. There we go. Keep it going. And there we go. So as soon as T3 is down, there's nothing that can go wrong here at this point, to be honest. Even when Sortie does get her AoE out, you know, you'll have so much protection up, she won't be able to do much to your Cad Bane, to be honest. So this is pretty much it. You just now have to kind of slowly grind through them, going after IG-11X so we can get rid of his dispelling. Keep applying thermal detonators, keep detonating them, so then you can keep stacking so many stacks of protection up. And we'll just have to here I was like, let's try to take Sortie out. I'm like, oh boy, she's a tanky one, so I decided to switch back over to Chopper, finish off Chopper first. HK is constantly in hiding because he's got what, this VIP buff on him. I did apply their disarm there with Kersantan, so this I think reduces damage from Sortie. So if you do have Zeta on Kersantan, actually maybe this will be even better because he can straight away in beginning already apply disarmed to reduce Sortie's damage. And now we just have to land a shock with basic on Kersantan. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go, shock landed. Don't use rocket because this will dispel the shock there on Sortie. So just keep applying there, shock on Sortie, and eventually you will be able to kind of get her down, because with shock she won't be able to gain protection up. There we go, got her down, almost there. Come on, let's go. And that's it. With Sortie down, I mean, the game is pretty much over at this point. So there you go, guys. It is possible. You just have to, you know, decide, do you want to set aside for a few attempts sometime? But I need it here. I got it on my third attempt, so actually it wasn't too bad in the end. But as before, you just have to get it opening sequence right. With Sortie using special event ability instead of her AoE. Then you need to land with Boba ability block on her, and then obviously there with Greedo and Cad Bane remove turn meter from IG, so IG doesn't get a turn, and then cleanse off the ability blocks from Sortie. And then you can, by the time Sortie gets her a turn with her AoE, you already have so much protection up. You've got contract triggers, you get extra evasion for Cad Bane that you should be able to survive. Especially if you have Zeta with Kersantan, he can straight away put their disarmed on Sortie, reducing her damage straight away. Okay, so the more challenging battle out of the way, let's just get to the more straightforward battles here. For the Unguarded and Bring Balance feat as well here, because obviously if you wouldn't be able to do tier 10 with Hutt Cartel, you just do tier 6 to get a gold crate, then you would still here on tier 10 need to do Bring Balance feat if you're using Hutt Cartel. So one way, Rebels, and I'm bringing in Darth Revan as the dark side. So what you have to do is obviously stun Sortie so she doesn't get a turn, and then you just have to go all out on IG, so then you can actually, so he doesn't cleanse off stuns once you do land on the other guys and the debuff. So just call assist here. We're just gonna keep going. There we go. Let's just do that. Okay, let's just get now use the event ability to get lots of assists. And now we can go ahead and spread fear on everybody. That's why I brought in Revan, so he can a little bit keep everybody under control. And now I'm going to go after T3 here. Okay, let's just go ahead and get tenacity down on Sortie. See if we can remove some turn meter from her. Let's use event ability, get mass assist, and from here on out it's pretty easy, to be honest. There we go. CLS here with Darth Revan. Very easy, and my Darth Revan isn't even that fast. I think it's like 320 or something, so you don't need a whole lot of speed because Han shoots first, right? And it's completed the Unguarded feat. So I do have another team I want to show you as well that again will complete Bring Balance and Unguarded at the same time. So you need Pulp, Vader, Mara. Now even if you have low gear Mara, this will still work because you will bring in Watt. And again, even if you have low gear Watt, it doesn't matter because he gets his bonus turn. And then he can use the event ability, right? That will give turn meter. And for the last light side, doesn't even matter. I just brought in rows for fun. So there you go. We get bonus turn with what he can go use here. Event ability, his support. This gives turn meter to their team, and this is how you can outrun Sortie. And then obviously just let Vader get to work here. Now speed of my Vader is 300 for reference. So just, you know, Maybe if your raider is a bit, I don't know, around 250 might not be enough, I don't know. But definitely mod him for speed, and in combination with 30% turn meter boost you get from watts, using event ability, you know, you should be able here to get plays going. So as always, you have to exhaust savior first. Wasn't enough, so then once Mara gets a turn, get a stun on Sortie, then you do another AoE to get shocks going. Then obviously you have to push turn meter back on IG, because if he does get a turn, he will simply cleanse off all the debuffs, and then Sortie can get a turn. And once you get his opening plays going, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward hint. Pulp Train engaged, you're getting all these debuffs, so many turns. There we go, trigger their savior. Okay, and then just kind of spread the shocks, so the Pulp is getting a lot of turn whenever Mara calls him to assist with his basic. And in terms of Sortie, it's the same thing as in the battle with Hutt Cartel. You just have to get their shock on her, so she's not actually be able to getting protection up. And once you get shock on her, eventually, you know, you will get her down quite easily. Same thing like with Boba, do not use Boba's execute on Sortie, because then she will lose shock. So same thing here with Vader. I know it's tempting to call her, but if you do that, she's very tanky, very durable, and then she'll just lose the shock, and then she'll be able to gain protection up as well. Okay, let's use event ability, call everybody for assist. As you can see, Sortie is very durable. Let's give a dish attack as well. Now, finally, she died from damage over time, so now I can just go ahead and finish this battle. So there you go, using neat trick there with Watt's bonus turn to give boost to your team so you can get plays going, and as well, you know, complete in this way as well, bring ballast and unguarded feat. Alright guys, so that's all the battles I wanted to show you today. Hopefully it'll help you get the red crate this time with you know, low gear Hutt Cartel, sort of like I did. If you're not feeling like spending some time trying to get the RNG aligned, it's okay, just take the gold crate. Don't stress it out, because you still get those 2 Omicrons even in gold or even in silver crates. So no need to stress about it, because you know, we have weekend coming up after all, so we just want to start it in a relaxing manner. Thank you for watching guys, I'll see you in the next one, but until then, have fun, enjoy life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.